standing around in this hot sun. I got to ask you something. Has anybody ever seen us before perform? Just curious. Anybody out there? Is this your first time? Some of you are looking at me like the RCA dog going, who are these guys? Anybody ever watch the Andy Griffith Show? Just curious, want to know? Cool. Well, I played one of the Darling Boys who came into town on the truck, and Andy had always come up for a pause and say, Briscoe, the boys are all keyed up. And this is what we did on the show, besides play a little music. They put the camera on us and we'd give this look. Would it be possible if I tried very much in this hot sun to show you that look one more time? Would that be okay with you? With that overwhelming enthusiasm, how could I fail? Okay, on the count of three, if you all will say the boys are all keyed up, I'll do my best to represent the whole family. We gonna try this? Then we'll become friends right away. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The boys are all keyed up. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show this afternoon. We'll be back at 5. Isn't that a legacy to leave your grandkids, though, really? I mean, you know, what'd you do, Daddy? Well, Well, we're going to start off with a song about the Darling Boys that we wrote, because there wasn't a lot of history, and we thought we would give the Darling Boys a history by writing a song about them, and that's what we did. And we thought, what could we call this that would be clever? We called it the Darling Boys. Where the red and the gray squirrels play. The sound of the fiddle when the old man died to carry the souls away. Some boys hammered on a steel all day, and some put a furrow in the ground. Nobody did it like the Darling Boys when the fiddle and the bow came down. When the fiddle and the bow came down. Oh, the Darling Boys, they all dress funny, and the Darling Boys talk real slow. Nobody did it like the Darling Boys when it came to the old banjo. When it came to the old banjo. Well, I'd be in the middle of a one-horse town where the steeples stand up high. They paid by the gallon when the boys came down from Mayberry town was dry. On a river, and the Darling Boys made shine in the night. Nobody did it like the Darling Boys. The time of the moon was right. When the time of the moon was right. Oh, the Darling Boys, they all dress funny, and the Darling Boys talk real slow. Nobody did it like the Darling Boys when it came to the old banjo. When it came to the old banjo. Oh, the Darling Boys, they all dress funny, and the Darling Boys talk real slow. Nobody did it like the Darling Boys when it came to the old banjo. When it came to the old banjo. Did y'all see Dean Webb and his band a while ago? Now, Dean was with us for he and I were together 25 years. It's like being married, you know? And I think Dean still has the same pair of shoes he got when we first started, and they look like new. He was the only guy I knew who he could use a toothpaste tube and never have a wrinkle in it. He was so fastidious. I guess he still is. But I'm going to do a song that he wrote, and we've done this for years. I did it on an album called Back Porch Bluegrass back in... And none of you were all children at that time. And we're going to do it again for you. It's called simply The Old Home Place. Beautiful song written by Dean Webb. It's been 10 long years since and grows cold as I stand here and hang my head. I've lost my love, I've lost my home, and now I wish that I were dead. What have they done with the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plow in the field and look for a job in the town? I guess, you know, we left home from the Ozark Mountains in the Ozarks. It's kind of like Indiana in a way, a little steeper. But we left home with a 55 Cadillac, I don't know if Dean told you that, and a one-wheel trailer, and $9.50 and headed for California. $9.50. Gosh. We weren't used to large sums of money like that. We went through it in about a month. But anyway, we got out there and went into this little place and started playing. And it just so happens that fell out there and owned a little record company called Elektra Records. Are you interested in this? Yeah. No, called Elektra Records. And he said, "Would you like to make a record?" And I said, "What's it going to cost us?" Because I'd been through that before at home. And he said nothing. So we agreed to sign with him, and they put a little blurb in Variety magazine that said, Elektra Records in Hollywood, they put this as a magazine out there, and they said, Elektra Records signs these weird-looking guys who play this funny music from the Ozarks. Not Hollywood, what do they know? And Andy had a script in front of him called The Darlings Are Coming, and he happened to have his Variety with him that morning, and he said, "This script calls for some funny guys who play bluegrass." So he called us up, and we went over there to Desilu Studios, guys. Imagine this, I was a 19-year-old kid leaving the Ozarks, walking in the Hollywood studios out there with all these big stars, and they'd heard that we were coming. They said, "We got to go see these hillbillies. We love hillbillies, they're quaint." So they were all gathered around. There was Ken Curtis, and I was really scared when I met one of the Three Stooges. He was there, and I couldn't believe it. And they were all gathered around, and Andy, they were filming an episode where Barney sings off in the choir. He's trying to find out who it is. He stopped production on that, and they sat down in some chairs, just about like you all were sitting in. They weren't in the sun, but they were inside. And he said, "Okay, show us what you got." And we went through one song called Reuben's Train or something, I can't remember what it was, and he stopped and slapped his knees and said, "That's it." And I turned to my brother Douglas and I said, "Doug, they're kicking us out." And I started to leave, put my guitar, and he said, "Where are you going?" And he said, "You got the job." We were only supposed to do one episode, but they had so many cards and letters that we were fortunate enough to do several episodes after that and become a major part of something that I had no idea would turn out to be what it is today. It's never been off the air in 50 years. 50 years. And that's a testimony to people who have values. I'm not going to preach or anything, but when I look out on this group of people here, I'm comfortable because I see the face of Mayberry. I really do. I see a couple of goobers out there, too. This is a song that was written by Joe Stewart and our old bass player who died last year. It's simply called The Whole World Round. Rooster crow early in the day. I heard his axe beyond the hill, and now I'm bound away. For some men love the city life, others crave the town. I'll be bound for the lonesome woods where I can settle down. Fiddle and the bow and the firelights glow, you can hear that lonesome sound. I'll leave behind my trouble and mine, go the Arkansas woods, they're all settled down. Fiddle in the bowl and the firelights glow, you can hear that lonesome sound. I'll leave behind my trouble in mind, go the whole world round. Fiddle in the bowl and the firelights glow, you can hear that lonesome sound. I'll leave behind my trouble in mind, go the whole world round. Would you just do that? Just go find a campfire and sit beside it and look into it. Let's go do that. It's a little hot for that, isn't it? All right. I've lived in Branson. Can I introduce everybody right now so you can get it? I have gotten a new group of folks. Well, he's been with me 9 years, this man. I'll introduce him, but we have I got to tell you, I hate to brag, but I just made a record deal. Yeah. I get a record every month. I can send it back if I don't like it. That's a good deal, isn't it? Yeah. This man has been with me 9 years, and he was from Branson. He's not anymore. He came out here to North Carolina and decided he liked it, so he bought him a home out there. Now, George is a Mennonite black belt. Total shock. Total shock and awe out there. Mennonite, that's an oxymoron, isn't it? Well, I understand the moron part. But he is also a ranger, one of these guys who can go out and they dropped him off in a helicopter with a toothpick and a napkin and say, survive for 3 months. He was able to do that. It's been okay, but, you know, it gets kind of dangerous. We have to sometimes, you know, watch for cars while he eats lunch. I didn't say it. Boy, don't you wish sometimes you can just back up life like a videotape and erase it? I wish I'd just erased what I just said, but I didn't. So, this is George Giddens from Bakersville, North Carolina. I wanted to say Asheville. Back here on the bass, this is another North Carolinian. He's from Rutherfordton, North Carolina. That's Shane Lale on the bass. We have a Texan here. He's from Texas. 3-time state flat pick champion from Texas. Flat pick champion. And what town are you from?
May.
Where's May? Where's May, Texas?
It's in between April and June.
Okay.
Texas.
It's really quiet out there today. Do I hear the locusts? We're gonna. I didn't even say your name. This is Jim Glaspie on the Five String Banjo, and he has his own show in Branson, Missouri. Believe it or not, so drop by and see it sometime. He juggles and sets himself on fire. And, you know, anything to keep your attention in Branson, I'll tell you. We're gonna do a song. I've lived in Branson about 28 years now. And when I first moved there, I got my little house out there by the lake, a little house all pristine, beautiful, and the birds were chirping, and the turkeys were turkeying, and I woke up one morning and looked out and realized that after 28 years, we had been mauled. Literally, there was a mall here, and a mall there, and a mall over there, and I thought, my God, what has happened? You know, where we used to bale hay and everything. So we decided to write a song about it, and it's on our new album on Rural Rhythm Records, and it's simply called There Goes a Neighborhood. They're moving in a little more every day, playing golf where we used to bale our hay. They don't like our pink flamingos or the outhouse when the wind blows. I'm starting to feel out of place. There goes a neighborhood. There goes a neighborhood. When they mowed all our yards, they found our old cars. There goes a neighborhood. sports utility vans always got a mobile phone in their hands. They got a pocket full of money, and Lord sure seems funny. They're never in, but somehow they can. There goes a neighborhood. There goes a neighborhood. When they mowed all our yards, they found our old cars. There goes a neighborhood. Lunch all the time. Seems like Newton's always on their mind. They don't like meat or Coca-Cola. It's Perrier and granola. Pickled pig's feet is getting hard to find. There goes a neighborhood. There goes a neighborhood. When they mowed all our yards, they found our old cars. There goes a neighborhood. When they mowed all the yards, they found our old cars. There goes a neighborhood. Yeah, that's what happens. Yep. Anybody old enough out there to remember Bob Dylan? I always like to do this song when I come to Indiana. You old enough to remember Bob? Yeah, good deal. Well, when we first went to California, we got with this big agency, and they sent us to the Newport Folk Festival by mistake. I'd never been to a folk festival before, you know, and it took a long time to get used to that acrid smell of cloud floating in the air over the audience. You're laughing way too hard. Anyway, I heard Bob Dylan for the first time sing. He got up there, and this is before he went electric. It was just him and a guitar. And he sang a song I thought would really make a great... Bob Dylan, for you younger people, is a great songwriter, but he has a voice very much like a dog with his leg caught in a car door. But boy, he could write some good songs, and he wrote this one, and I thought it'd make a good grass song, so we decided to do it, and here it is for you. It's called I'm Walking Down the Line. When I'm walking down the line, I'm walking down the line, I'm walking down the line, my feet will be flying until about my troubled mind. I got a heavy-headed gal. She ain't a feeling well, when she's better only time will tell. When I'm walking down the line, I'm walking down the line, I'm walking down the line, my feet will be flying until I'm a troubled mind. And goes, my money comes, my money goes, my money comes and it goes and it rolls and it flows and it rolls and it flows and the holes in the pockets of my clothes. Well, I'm walking down the line, I'm walking down the line, I'm walking down the line, my feet will be flying until about my troubled mind. Morning light, I see the morning light. Well, it's not because I'm an early riser. I didn't go to sleep last night. Well, I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. The feet will be flying to tell about my troubled mind. Well, I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. The feet will be flying to tell about my troubled mind. You know, I'm having a great time at my age of being able to go out and be blessed with being able to stand up on my trotters and still do it. And I love to give other people an opportunity to do something, and I would like to do that now. I want you to welcome for the first time that he's going to do this. I don't think he even knows it, Deb. Would you do amber tresses? Could you do that? You will? Oh, good. I thought he was going to say no. We're just going to let him do it by himself to give you another touch of what old-timey Texas mountain music is all about. There are mountains in Texas, aren't there?
There's some.
Well, far away in Sunday Mountain, where the merry sunbeams play, there I wandered through the clover, singing to a village maid. She was sweeter than the sweetest, ever loving, kind and true. And she wore beneath her bonnet amber tresses tied in blue. Faith bequeathed that we'd be parted when the leaves in autumn fell. Then two hearts were separated that had loved each other well. She was sweeter than the sweetest, ever loving, kind and true. And she wore beneath her bonnet amber tresses tied in blue. Well, she was all I had to cherish, ever loving, kind and true. Now I see her in every vision, amber tresses tied in blue. She was sweeter than the sweetest, ever loving, kind and true. And she wore beneath her bonnet amber tresses tied in blue. Amber tresses tied in blue. What's time to hog, old blue? Okay, we'll probably get to some of those. Since I'm so impressed that somebody yelled out a request. Yeah, I feel better already. Before we do that, I'd like to bring somebody out from North Carolina to add some legitimacy to what I do. And she's an old-timey banjo picker, and that's what of course, that's what I saw first, was this lady. It was in a Canadian festival. There was about 10,000 people there. She was in a white dress, and it was 30 years ago. Long black hair, playing a 5-string banjo, mountain style. And of course, that's what I saw first, was the banjo. That's what I fell in love with, banjo. Gosh, when I was growing up playing music, you'd have to drive 500 miles to find a banjo player. You know that, guys? Today you have to drive 500 miles to get away from one. Would you welcome from North Carolina my wife, Miss Beverly Cotton Dillard. There she is.
Thank you. Yeah, he saw the banjo first, and it still pursues him everywhere he goes. Well, I'm going to play a little bit of different style, the old-timey clawhammer banjo that I learned in Mount Airy, North Carolina, Andy Griffith's home. And I do it a little different. I play up here on the neck, and that's called the Mount Airy Gaelic style, if you see anybody playing up there. That's where they've learned from. And Rodney, do I hear a dog? Oh, yeah, I thought it was you, Rodney.
I always blame it on the dog.
Rodney and I, well, this is following up with this statement. Rodney and I have a ministry called, good timing, called Mayberry Values in Today's World. And we do a lot of gospel music, and I love the old-timey gospel songs. They work for me because he's old and I'm timey. And if you know this one, sing along. When my time comes to go, kick her off, George. When my time comes to go, when my time comes to go, I will lay my head on Jesus' breast. When my time comes to go, well, I may be lame and cannot walk, I may be blind and cannot see, but I'll fly away on wings of love when He comes after me. When my time comes to go, when my time comes to go, I wanna lay my head on Jesus' breast. When my time comes to go. The road is rough, the way is long, but I'm faithful I will be. I make it through by the grace of God, yes, He will stand by me. When my time comes to go, when my time comes to go, I wanna lay my head on Jesus' breast. When my time comes to go. To hear Him say, well done, I have come to set you free. There's a crown of life waiting here for you when you come unto me. When my time comes to go, when my time comes to go, I wanna lay my head on Jesus' breast. When my time comes to go, Jordan. When my time comes to go, when my time comes to go, I wanna lay my head on Jesus' breast. When my time comes to go, I wanna lay my head on Jesus' breast. When my time comes to go. Thank you. Thank you. Well, the fellow that I learned from back there in Mount Airy, North Carolina, actually his little community was next to Mount Airy. It's called Toast. And that had like welcome to and come back on the same sign. And he taught me to play the 5-string clawhammer banjo by ear, sitting around his kitchen a lot. And he taught me to play this old song called The Soldier's Joy. And he said, now this comes from an old English song called Payday in the Army. That was the first title.
And he'd say, now young'un, when you play it, though, you got to play it like he's burning ticks. And that meant fast. That's what he called fast, burning ticks. So I'm going to kick this one off if it's all right for the boys here and see if I can still muster up to play it like it's burning ticks. Okay. Banjos, yep.
I want to do a song about, well, I think it was written out of Ecclesiastes. We stole it from the Bible. And we wrote this, when we were doing the Andy Griffith Show, you just sit around. They shot it like a movie with one camera. So we would sit around and just pick out tunes. And one day, Mitch Jane and I were just sitting, messing with words and melodies and stuff. And Andy said, "What is that voice?" Of course, he said in his Andy voice. I can't do an Andy voice. Anybody do an Andy voice? Ma'am? Andy voice? Pardon me? Somebody? Anybody? He said, "I like that tune." And he said, "I'd like to do that on the air." I said, "Okay, we'll finish it." And we did. He did it. I want to do it for you now. It's called "There Is a Time." There is a time for love and laughter. The days will pass like summer storms. The winter winds will follow after. But there is love and love is warm. There is a time for us to wonder when time is young and so are we. Those are greener over yonder. The path is new, the world is free. Time when leaves are falling, the woods are gray, the paths are old. The snow will come when geese are calling. You need a fire against the cold. There is a time for us to wonder when time is young and so are we. The woods are greener over yonder. The path is new, the world is free. sun. The frost will come and bring the harvest, and you can sleep when day is done. A couple of years ago, I had the honor to be asked, I get to drop a name, I was asked by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band to sing on their new Circle Be Unbroken 47, I think, or 3. And just before we went down to do the recording session, John McEwen called me and he said, would you write another verse? And I went, oh, heavens. So as I was walking out the door, I picked up that little motel pad that they had there, and I started writing this verse, and I panicked, and I called Mitch Jane, who unfortunately we lost last year. I said, Mitch, you write a verse, and I'll write a verse, and we'll see which one we like the best. I called him back in about 15 minutes, and except for the last line, we had written the same verse. Life is like a river rolling with no regrets as it moves on around the bend, a shining morning to greet the friends we thought were gone. There is a time for us to wander when time is young and so sweet. The woods are greener over beyond. The path is new. Free. The path is new, the world is free. Thank you very much. We had a request, somebody wanted a dog song out there. I guess that barking dog sort of... We can do that. You want to do Salty Dog? Who said Salty Dog? Beverly. Do what? No, you said no, don't do that one. Do Old Blue. What? Which one? Do it. Up, got a 45 down, 45 down, 50 down, 60 down, give me 6. Up, got a 75, 75, 75, 80, 85, 85, 90. Up, sold. It's a band right here. Hey, Beverly, you want to see the Salty Dog for him? It goes, well, it's Time to Hog. What's the other one? Why do we do all these animal songs? We did a lot of, I will do that dog song. We did a lot of dog songs back in the old days, and we did some love songs, but our dog songs were interchangeable with our love songs. We just changed it from Old Blue to Cynthia. You could get away with that in New York. And, huh? What key do you do that in?
I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
See, I play by ear. I played for 6 years, and somebody would say, give me a D, and I go, which one's that?
Is this it? We're just making this up as we go. I hope you don't mind. You know, one thing about this, whatever success I've had in doing this, I never took myself very serious. Lee? Seriously?
Yeah.
We have any?
I'm the brains behind the
Yeah.
business.
And I've always had a good time with it, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I want you to have is a good time. It's not how well I play, because there's young kids coming out who can burn everybody playing music. But I just kind of, old guys want to have fun, don't we?
Well, we actually included this on the Wish Life Was Like Mayberry CD because Charlene sang it on the show. So I tried to do her justice singing it on this. She's from Colorado, and she pronounced dog. She'd say it like that, dog. So I might salute Charlene on that. Okay.
You want to do it?
I tried.
Let's see what happens. Somebody's got it.
Somebody's got it. Ain't me.
to Hartford Memorial Festival, and I think we're going to do a workshop of some sort later. But I've got a lot of stories because we all pretty much, my brother and I, John, grew up together, and I got some stories that none of you will ever hear unless you ask me. And it's all good. It's all good. But I got some great stories of John driving me crazy, playing a banjo wire stretched from a door handle on the inside of a car down to the seat bracing with one string, and he'd take the door handle and he tuned it by moving the door handle and 3 finger picks going, and that was really fun for about 10 minutes, and after 2 hours it got really weird. But that was John. He was very intense about what he did and very focused on what he did. But at the workshop, I brought a video that I want to show you to kind of clear some things up that John did with my dad. It's called Precious Memories. And I think the AT&T produced it for video. It's a video movie. And if you come, maybe we can show it. It'll be dark enough to show that. You know, they just told us we had time for one more. And if 5 o'clock, I will do the ones that you asked for. But I want to leave you in a tribute to my brother, Doug Dillard, who wrote this for the Andy Griffith Show. And I want to thank you again for welcoming an old guy back to your part of the country. You need folks. We appreciate it very much. It's called a Hickory Holler or Rake Down, as he breaks down and panics and saying, what have I done?
Folks, Rodney Dillard and the band. Yes, sirree. Hey, Rodney. Rodney, they'd love to hear one more out of you. How about it? Let him hear from you, folks. Come on back, Rodney. There he is.
Thank you guys so much. Make an old guy feel